When I came back to Fields of Mistria for the full 1.0 release, I honestly thought I already had a pretty good idea of what was waiting for me. Turns out, I really didn't. There are so many new systems, unlocks, quality of life improvements, and late game additions that changed how I played. So let's walk through everything that's new, how to unlock it, what to prepare before getting married and having kids, and how to make the most out of everything added in this update. One quick heads up before we get started. Since we're covering everything the full 1.0 release has to offer, this video will include some late and endgame spoilers. Let's start with the one I was excited to finally see completed, the Town Repair storyline. After the previous major update wrapped up the Mines storyline, which honestly had me on the edge of my seat, it was really nice to come back and see the Town storyline finally moving toward its own conclusion. The Town Renown cap has now been raised to 100, which gets you to the Mistral Star Town rank. And once you reach that point, you'll finally get a cutscene where we meet Adeline and Island's parents. And they are adorable! They even have some of the same mannerisms as their kids, which I thought was such a cute little detail. Of course, getting to rank 100 means there are more requests to work through first. And one of the bigger things you'll unlock along the way is the Saturday Market Plaza quest. You'll trigger the quest after completing the Carpenter's Shop upgrade. You'll need 5 Mistral ingots, 5 monster blocks, 20 refined stones, 50 voidites, and 10 monster cores. The Mistral ingots come from Mistral ore found in the ancient ruins, while monster blocks drop from Rockstack and living griffin statues there. Refined stones come from the stone refinery. Voidites can be collected by breaking voidite clusters in the ancient ruins. And monster cores can drop from enchanterns. Once you finish the quest, Stillwell and Zorrel will join the Saturday market starting with the next market day. Stillwell has a mission board where you can pick up quests to defeat specific monsters. There is a catch though. You can only have one mission quest at a time, and once you turn it in, you have to wait for the next Saturday market before you can take another one. I'll be honest, these took me a little longer than I expected. Mostly because combat is definitely not where I feel the most comfortable, but I did find a little shortcut. Instead of breaking rocks and working your way through the levels in the mines just to find the monster you need, I used the elevators to jump between floors. Once I had cleared out the monsters in a floor, I could come back to it later and let the monsters refresh. By the way, Stillwell also has the option for fortune telling. He is a fortune teller after all, but to be honest, I don't think it does anything. Just a little novelty just to pass the time. Then there's Zorrel. She sells crystal resonators and song crystals, which let you customize the music around your farm and inside your home. The resonators are functional decorations that you can place wherever you want. And once you interact with one, it'll play the song you've chosen for that area. And the song crystals are basically your music library. Zorrel has 5 random song crystals available each week, so if you're looking for a specific track, you'll probably want to check back regularly. She's also the one who triggers the Repair the Bell Tower quest, and this one is a bit of a project. You'll need 1 Dragon Forged Fang, 20 refined stones, 30 hardwood, and 1 Dragon Forged core. If you've already spent a lot of time in the ancient ruins, some of this might sound familiar. But if not, here's what you're looking for. The Dragon Forged Fang requires 5 monster fangs, which you can get from saplings, along with 5 void stones, 5 void herbs, 1 written root, and a medium essence stone. The void materials can be found throughout the mines, while written roots can be foraged at the ancient ruins from floors 81 through 99. While the refined stones and medium essence stone can be crafted at the stone refinery. Hardwood can be found around your farm and throughout Mistria, with plenty available in the deep woods. You can also buy it from Baylor's Wagon or craft it at the stone refinery using 10 stone. Then there's the Dragon Forged core. For that, you'll need 5 monster cores from enchanterns, 1 Mistral ingot, 1 pink diamond, 1 ancient firefly, and another medium essence stone. The Mistral ingot, pink diamond, and ancient firefly can all be found at the ancient ruins, floors 81 through 99 of the mines. Once you finally repair the bell tower, you can customize the town's background music using the song crystals you've purchased from Zorel, and you can also change the bell sound. That's the little chime you hear at 8 p.m. every day. By the way, there's one thing you shouldn't skip. After completing the Mind storyline, there's additional Friday night at the Inn conversations, and I had a lot of fun with this one. There are more interactive options this time around, so it feels less like you're just watching another story unfold and more like you're actually participating in it. The best part is you get to actually bring home the items. Now, let's talk about the new skill perks, and yes, they are definitely late mid-game. Starting with cooking, at Tier 5, Level 60, you can learn espresso yourself. This unlocks the espresso machine and recipe at Darcy's shop in the Saturday market. And I actually love what this does. Every day, you can interact with the machine to get a movement speed boost. It doesn't give you an actual coffee item to carry around, which would have been nice. But I still prefer it this way because I don't have to use an inventory slot for it. It's just there when I need it. Then we have ranching. At Tier 4, Level 45, there's Playtime, which unlocks 2 new toys at Hayden's shop. The gramophone is for your large animals, while the hot spring is for your smaller ones. And honestly, they're adorable. They look like they're having the best time. Then at Tier 5, Level 60, you get Extra. This gives your gold-laying animals a 50% chance to also produce a regular quality egg each day. Which sounds pretty specific, until you need a regular egg for a recipe and suddenly realize all your animals are giving you fancy ones. So this can definitely come in handy. And remember, you can disable perks whenever you want. So you don't have to keep this one active if you don't need regular eggs anymore. At the same tier, there's Close Bond 2, which gives your animals an even bigger heart increase when they've been fed and petted for the day. And then there's True Trust. Once an animal reaches 10 hearts, it will stop losing heart levels. That one is pretty straightforward, but if you're investing a lot of time into your animals, it's a really nice quality of life perk. And then we get to woodcrafting. At Tier 5, Level 60, you can learn Hammer Timing 4, which reduces crafting time by another 10 minutes. That brings the total crafting time reduction to 40 minutes. And that might sound like a small improvement until you remember the faux plants. If you've been following along with the money-making methods in this channel, you already know that selling faux plants can be one of the better ways to make money in Mistria. The problem has always been that crafting them takes time. But with Hammer Timing 4, they can finally be crafted instantly. And that makes a method that was already profitable feel so much more convenient. Then there's Deliberate Debris 2, which completely stops debris from spawning on your farm. Personally, I actually like having a little bit of chaos out there. A few weeds, branches, and random bits of debris make the farm feel lived in. But there is a point where it gets a little ridiculous. So if you'd rather have a completely clean farm, this perk can take care of that for you. And just like the others, you can always turn it off if you change your mind. Now, there are also a few smaller cosmetic additions that are worth knowing about. Once you've fully upgraded your house, you'll receive a letter from Landon letting you know that you've unlocked the new house styles. You can head over to the carpenter's shop and choose from several different looks for 5,000 tesserae. And at this point in the game, that's honestly not too bad. Just keep in mind that if you change your house style and later want to switch back, you'll have to purchase that style again. There's also the chicken mount, which you can unlock by visiting the chicken statue near the ranch. In my case, I had already unlocked all of the different chicken breeds, so that may be part of the requirement. And pet customization has gotten a little more fun too. All monsters can now drop pet skins when you defeat them, and you can choose which one you want your pet to use from the Animals tab. And if this guide is helping you catch up on the 1.0 update without having to dig through everything yourself, consider subscribing. I make cozy, low-stress guides like this to help you enjoy these games without feeling like you have to figure everything out alone. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about one of the bigger changes in the 1.0 release: romance. And just a quick spoiler warning before we continue. Since we're getting into the later relationship content, there will be some romance spoilers from here on. If you're okay with that, let's get into it. You can now interact with the romance options you're dating, engaged to, or married to, and actually kiss them. And the heart level cap has now been raised to 10. And with that in mind, taking your love interest on a date will increase their heart level even more. So if you've been waiting for more progression after reaching the previous cap, there's now another reason to keep spending time with the person you chose. Once you reach 10 hearts with a romance option, things start moving toward the next step. The morning after reaching heart level 10, Elsie will deliver the engagement ring recipe. You can craft the ring at a forge, and, well, it's definitely not an early game recipe. You'll need 1 dragon-forged core, which itself requires 5 monster cores from enchanters, 1 mistral ingot, 1 pink diamond, 1 ancient firefly, and 1 medium essence stone. The mistral ingot, pink diamond, and ancient firefly can all be found in floors 81 to 99 of the mines, while the medium essence stone can be crafted at the stone refinery. Then you'll need 2 diamonds, which you can get from diamond nodes in the lava caves or craft at the stone refinery. On top of that, you'll need 4 mistral ingots from mistral ore in the ancient ruins, and 4 gold ingots from gold ore in the lava caves. So yeah, you'll need to be pretty far into the game before proposing becomes an option. Once you have the ring, you can trigger the 10 heart event. This is where you'll have a conversation about the future and decide whether you want to propose right away or wait. And you actually have some room to take your time here. Each romance option gives you an exclusive item during their 10 heart event. The events can also be retriggered with the engagement ring, so you can experience the different events and collect those special items before deciding who you want to move forward with. Basically, there's no need to rush that decision. There are also a couple of settings worth knowing about if you're dating multiple romance options. By default, getting engaged will change your other dating relationships from dating to best friends. But if you'd rather avoid that entirely, you can disable breakup through the gameplay settings. There's also a separate option if you're okay with the status change, but just don't want the breakup letters and follow-up dialogue acknowledging it. That setting removes those messages, but the relationships themselves will still change from dating to best friends. So if you're someone who likes taking your time with the romance options, definitely check those settings before confirming your engagement. Once you've proposed, you can finally start planning the wedding. You can choose a date anywhere from 5 days to 2 weeks after your proposal, and your relationship status will officially change from dating to fiancé or fiancée. And I just love how you actually get a little say in the wedding itself. In the days leading up to it, you can talk to your fiancé about different details, including the flower color, cake flavor, and food served at the reception. There's a little schedule to it too. Day 1 is for flowers, another day for the cake, and the next is the food. On the day of the wedding, Elsie and Josephine will come pick you up, and thankfully, the farm chores are taken care of for the day. You'll choose your wedding outfit, spend the day surrounded by your betrothed's family and your best friends, and then actually get married. And I have to say, I really like that the wedding doesn't just stop at the ceremony. There's a reception, speech, and everyone just gets to celebrate together. It feels like an actual event rather than a quick cutscene you watch and immediately move on from. Once you're married, you'll also unlock 3 unique pieces of furniture from your spouse that you can place around your home. And this is probably one of my favorite little details. Your spouse will actually interact with the furniture you place around the house. Mostly the chairs, but still. Seeing them actually use things in your home makes the space feel a little more lived in. Which also means I probably need to step up my decorating game. And then there's one more pretty big addition to married life: family planning. About 2 weeks, or 14 days, after your wedding, a stork will appear in your dreams after you sleep and give you a mystical feather. This is completely optional, and if you want to start a family, you can hold the feather and talk to your spouse about it. If you decide to go ahead, the stork will visit both of your dreams that night. You can then choose whether you want the stork to bring the baby to you or whether you want to carry the baby through pregnancy. Once you've made that choice, it takes another 14 days or half a season for the baby to arrive. If you chose the stork, it'll deliver the baby that morning. If you chose pregnancy, you'll visit the clinic and Valen will help with the delivery. And yes, your baby will look like your spouse. Your genes didn't even try. Once the baby is born, Landon will send you some mail with a cradle for your little one. Your spouse will start out holding the baby, but you can take them from your spouse and carry them on your back. And if you want to hand the baby back, you absolutely can. Even going on dates has this little detail worked in. If you and your spouse go out together, your baby will stay with a relative or close friend who babysits while you're away. There is one thing to keep in mind though, the baby doesn't grow up yet, so I guess that gives us one more thing to look forward to in future updates. Hopefully this gave you a better idea of everything that's waiting for you in Fields of Mistria 1.0. But once you jump back in, one question comes up pretty quickly. What's actually worth spending your time on? In the next video, I'll share the money-making methods that gave me the best results after 200 plus hours in early access, so you can unlock more while still playing at your own pace.